Good evening and welcome to the Wednesday, April 1st Town Board Legislative Meeting here in Penfield. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Would you please rise with me and say the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Will our Deputy Clerk Sue Scheit please call the roll?
Drawe.
Here.
Cole.
Here.
Lee. Ockenden.
Here.
All present.
Thank you. Next order of business is communications and announcements. And I will start with Councilman Ockenden. Would you like to have some announcements?
Yes, we got a few here tonight. A little bit of Transportation Committee safety pointers. Attention all walkers and drivers. As the weather gets warmer and spring is in full swing, it's important to remember to use caution and share the road. Whether you're walking or driving, it's crucial to be aware of your surroundings and follow proper safety guidelines. If you're a pedestrian, please remember to unplug and avoid distractions while walking. Always make eye contact with drivers before crossing the road, and do not begin crossing until traffic has come to a complete stop. When walking at night, wear bright and reflective clothing to increase your visibility to drivers. In addition, always use crosswalks and intersections when crossing the road, and never jaywalk. Stay alert as you cross the intersection and watch for turning vehicles of all kinds. As a driver, please be extra cautious and watch for pedestrians, especially in busy areas. Follow all traffic laws and be prepared to stop at crosswalks and intersections. And always give the pedestrians the right of way and allow them to cross the road safely. Let's work together to ensure a safe and enjoyable spring season for everyone. And remember, caution and awareness are the key when sharing the road. Second announcement I have tonight is volunteers are needed for the Good Neighbor Day. Penfield residents, mark your calendars for the 9th annual Terry Rothfuss Memorial Good Neighbor Day on Saturday, May 6th from 8:30 a.m. till noon. We're seeking volunteers of all ages to help older adults, veterans, or those who are disabled to do light yard work and spring cleanup. It's a great way to give back to the community and meet new people. After the morning's work, please join us at Rothfuss Park from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. for some family fun. There'll be games, music, food trucks, crafts, tug-of-war, and more. And that event is sponsored by the Browncroft Community Church and is free and open to the public. If you or someone you know needs help with yard work or you would like to volunteer, please email Sabrina at srenner@penfield.org, or you can call 340-8655 to request assistance. Let's carry on Terry's legacy of friendship by helping our community and inspiring others to do the same. And there is more information available at www.penfield.org/events. And then lastly, just a reminder to the residents that Friday, April 7th, all town offices in Penfield will be closed in observance of Good Friday. However, the Penfield Library will remain open during its regular business hours. And on Sunday, April 9th, the Penfield Library will be closed in observance of Easter Sunday. So please plan accordingly for these scheduled changes and contact the Penfield Library or town offices if you have any questions or concern. That's it.
Thank you, sir. Councilwoman Cole.
Okay. I have a number of announcements, but I'm going to start with a proclamation. On Sunday, I attended a birthday party celebration for Ellen DeBono, who turned 100. And Ellen is well known around the community. She's active around the library and the Deer program and so on. So I'm going to read to you the proclamation that I read to her at the party on Sunday. Whereas Ms. Ellen DeBono, longtime Penfield resident, is celebrating the incredible milestone of her 100th birthday, and whereas Ellen has called Penfield home since 1974 and has been an active member of the community, whereas throughout her life she has always been there to lend a helping hand, particularly to those less fortunate, and whereas she has a long, successful career with First Federal Savings and Loan Association, retiring as Vice President of Personnel after 37 years. Whereas Ellen has dedicated much of her time volunteering during her retirement for organizations such as the American Legion Auxiliary, Salvation Army, and as a treasurer of the Westgate Plaza Merchants. And whereas she taught money management classes at local colleges, helping students. And now be it resolved that Ellen is a stellar member of the Penfield community and continues to find joy each day. And be it further resolved that the Penfield Town Board joins with the entire Penfield community to wish Ellen a very happy 100th birthday. And this was dated April 2nd, 2023, and was signed by Debbie Drawe, Deputy Supervisor. So that was a lot of fun, and she is.
It looked like it.
She is so with it. She, right on top of everything. So I was very impressed. If we could all be like that when we
Yes,
turn 100, it'd be
absolutely.
great. Now for my announcements. The Penfield Symphony. The Penfield Symphony Orchestra will present Springtime Celebration on May 15th, 2023 at 7:30 at the Penfield High School Auditorium. This will be the fourth concert of their 67th season and the last for music director David Harmon, who is retiring after 22 years. Tickets can be purchased online at www.penfieldsymphony.org or by calling 585-872-0774 or at the door that night of the concert. Tickets are $15 for adults, and for students of any age with a student ID, it's $1. Group rates are available for parties of 6 and more, and that's going to be an excellent concert. Dave Harmon's been so integral for this community and the PSO for a number of years, so I have my tickets.
Good.
And now the Penfield Players. Penfield Players, get ready to fall in love with Almost Maine, the upcoming spring main stage production of the Penfield Players. This delightful, enchanting play by John Cariani, directed by Tom Bigongiorani, explores the different facets of love in a funny, heartwarming way. Join the Penfield Community Center at the Community Center located at 1985 Penfield Road for 7 performances starting on April 28th. Performances will take place April 28th, 29th, May 5th through the 7th, May 12th through the 13th, with tickets going on sale the week of April 3rd. Advance tickets are priced at $14, with $17 tickets available at the door. Next, the Drive Electric Earth Day, Penfield 2023. Attention all residents, we are excited to announce the upcoming Drive Electric Earth Day event in Penfield, Saturday, April 29th. Join us from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Penfield Community Center for an opportunity to learn more about electric vehicles and their impact on the environment. This event is presented in partnership with the New York State Electric Auto Association and is sponsored by Plug in America, the Electric Vehicle Association, the Sierra Club, and EV Hybrid Noir. It's a great chance to connect with EV enthusiasts, local dealerships, and experts who will be on hand to answer your questions and offer test drives. To attend the event, please register at driveelectricearthday.org/event. We can't wait to see you there. Additional information is available on the town's website, penfield.org. And finally, the Tuesday lunch counters become very popular. They even extended their hours a little bit now. But Penfield Community Center has a lunch counter. It's every Tuesday from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. The menu offers delicious sandwiches and soups made to order at affordable prices. $4 for a sandwich, $3 for soup. The lunch menu is available online at penfieldrec.org, and be sure to take advantage of the weekly specials. We have local history room meeting I had this week at noon. We all ordered and had a delicious lunch. It's really well done, and it supports the DEER program, daytime education program. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Thank you. Councilwoman Lee.
Thank you. Good evening. Speaking of the DEER program, the Penfield Recreation is looking for volunteers to facilitate new DEER classes. DEER stands for the Daytime Education at Recreation. If you have a topic or an interest that you would like to share and are available during the day, we encourage you to please get in touch. We are in need of a wide range of classes, from one-day programs to semester-long classes. Again, if you have any questions or would like to volunteer, we ask that you please contact Pam Drawe at the Recreation Office. The Penfield Trails Committee is going to be leading a guided hike at the 1,000 Acre Swamp on April 8th at 10 a.m., exploring the beautiful woods and meadows and the hiking trail there that we all enjoy in Penfield. This event is free. Registration is required, however. Please visit Penfield Recreation's website for more information and to reserve your spot. Lastly, a reminder that the Town of Penfield is again hosting the annual Memorial Day Essay Contest. This year's topic or theme is My Pledge to Our Veterans. It's open to all students in grades 6 through 8 who attend schools in Penfield or are residents of Penfield. You can submit your essay along with the submission form to the town by Friday, May 5th. There are cash prizes for the top 3 entries. To be eligible for the prize, the winners must be able to attend the town's Memorial Day ceremony on May 29th. Thank you.
Thank you. And I just have a couple announcements here. First, I would like to take this moment really to remind everyone that beginning tonight, the schedule for the town board meetings has changed. Town board meetings will now occur the first Wednesday, this is our legislative meeting, and the third Wednesday will be our work session of each month. The 6:30 p.m. start time remains unchanged. If needed, the town board will hold special meetings for time-sensitive town items and actions. The business of the town will continue to move forward just like it always has. As a board, we understand there's always a need to adapt and operate more efficiently. And with the increasing number of boards and committees, we want to make sure we are using our time and that of the staff and the community most effectively. In 2023 alone, we have added the Park and Recreations Advisory Committee and the Clark Road Barn Advisory Committee. The schedule change will provide the town board, the staff, and residents with more opportunities for participation with our boards and our and committees. Public participation remains an important part of meetings and a time when we can receive valuable input from you, the residents. The input helps guide our work, and we want to make sure this opportunity takes place before action items on our agenda are discussed. And for this reason, the public participation will remain at all legislative meetings prior to the start of the legislative action. We will always encourage and appreciate your involvement in local government. At any time, please feel free to reach out to us with any questions you may have. And you can contact us at www.penfield.org/townboard. You can keep up with the latest information on our website as well at www.penfield.org. Thank you. And in going with some changes, town office hours. Starting May 1st, the Penfield Town Hall and the Recreation Department office on Baird Road, they has new hours. They will be 8:30 to 4:30. We've heard from residents concerned, and that's one of the reasons we've made this change, is to be more accessible for our residents here in the community. So any questions you may have on this, you can email me at supervisor@penfield.org. So just remember, again, this only affects the town hall and the recreation department offices. All other departments and facilities will remain unchanged. If you have any questions or concerns, again, please contact me for further information. Thank you. And this past week, the Penfield Art Association replaced their town hall show and put up their new show for the spring and summer. It will last until June 30th. If you get a chance, there's a picture of some of the new items, new work that went up on the walls outside the entrance here to the town hall. So it's open for public viewings. Please come in. There's 22 new paintings, talents of 6 of the Penfield Art Association artists: Pat Crow, Nancy Mallow, Bob Winter, Shelley Simpson, Kay Litcherdell, and Ui Kinney. So we cordially invite everyone to come and appreciate these wonderful works of arts, which will be on display again until June 30th in the Penfield Town lobby. So thank you to all the artists and for the work that came and replaced and put up the new work for us. Thank you very much. And lastly, this afternoon, we were Councilwoman Cole and I had the privilege of being at a ribbon cutting for the new Eagle Cleaners down in the Panorama Valley Business District. You'll see a picture up there on the screen. Very much welcome this new business. Actually, it's moved business. It was over in the plaza, over in the Tops Plaza, and they moved to a beautiful brand new building next to Speedy's Plaza, next to Speedy's Plaza. So congratulations to them, and we thank them for staying here in Penfield as a business. So that's it for announcements tonight. Next order of business is public participation. And as usual, there are 3 ways that you can participate: in person here in the auditorium. You can also phone in at 340-8771, or you can reach us online at www.penfield.org. And I believe tonight we have some people that have maybe signed up to speak.
First is Tom Burke.
Tom, if you'd like to come up to the to one of the one of the microphones is fine, either one. And just tell us, again, your name and your address.
My name is Tom Burke, and I'm from Landing Park, over near Ellison Park.
Thank you.
And I really appreciate having an opportunity to speak to you all. It's very brief.
Welcome.
I'm going to read some notes because it'll keep it focused. I speak for an ad hoc committee of Penfield pickleball fans. We represent a very large and growing community of like-minded players who are attracted to the forward thinking of the town of Penfield. We're pretty impressed. We commend the board and the administration for persevering through the transition of Shadow Pines to a People's Park. Very impressive. We also applaud the commitment to inclusive play opportunities indicated on the recent plans. So expanded opportunities for challenged, I don't know the right words, but all citizens, regardless of challenge, will now have access to state-of-the-art facilities and the positive experiences it will open for so many. This is a remarkable addition to the town's inclusive infrastructure. As motivated citizens, my group, and devoted pickleball players, we have reviewed the most recent drawings and specifications. We're impressed with the town's commitment. We also believe we could provide additional insights to make this project the best possible. Preserving the existing mature tree windbreak, possible modifications to fencing design, as well as techniques for court rainwater control are the kind of things that we perhaps have additional expertise and we can provide additional insight. We hope the board will direct the design and administrative team to take advantage of our input to maximize the finished product. There is some desire to say, oh, there's this detail and that detail might not be the best for this and this situation, but when the design team is looking for issues about accessibility or about court maintenance, we are ready to participate. My phone number is on my card, and there are some other speakers, but we'd love to help you take it the final mile. Thanks so much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you coming.
Second is Jennifer Murphy.
Thank you.
Jennifer?
Jennifer? Oh,
Okay. And Vicki Odenbach.
okay. I was going to say. Welcome. Thank you for having me. You're welcome. Thank you. Can you just state your addresses, names and address?
Sure. My name's Jennifer Murphy, and I live in Penfield over, Seabury Boulevard.
Thank you.
I'm Vicki Odenbach. I live on Shadow Pines Drive, just on the Shadow Lake Golf Course, the condos over there. I've been a longtime Penfield resident, and I am a longtime tennis player, and then for the past 8 to 10 years, I've been playing pickleball. So we wanted to kind of go off what Tom was talking about, because we've been seeing how the plan's been coming along, and we have in the past offered help in some of the design and ideas of how to make it a really awesome place that everybody wants to come to. In the beginning, when we played pickleball, we were happy to play anywhere, in a driveway, on the street, anywhere. And now that people are starting to dedicate courts, it's been wonderful to have places to play. But there's a lot of things that go into making those courts a place that everybody wants to play, and that is a good facility for the community to gather, because it's such a social game, and for tournament players to play. And the worst places to play are places where there's no trees for wind, where there's no shade, and no place to just hang out, and to also places to watch as people are playing. Canandaigua put in some very nice courts down there. There's very little shade around the courts, and there's no place to really sit and there's only a few places to enter, so you have to walk across all the courts to get in. So now you're interrupting play, people have to stop. So if we want Penfield to be a top-notch facility, then hopefully you can talk to the people that travel to tournaments. I've traveled all over to play tournaments, and it can make or break a place playing. We've had to play in gyms, on the wood floor. So we've got the perfect place at Shadow Pines for the courts, and we're very excited about them. I just wanted to talk about a few things. The big thing for me is the trees, that the plans, as far as we can see, is that you're going to mow down a lot of the trees and make it more like fields. And we've got Rothfuss right around the corner. It's wide open, and going there like to the playground, there's no place to sit in the shade with your kids or anything like that, which is a different thing. It's not pickleball. But the pickleball courts here, with a few changes, I think would be really awesome. Let me just go get that first. Okay. So general minor change. Okay, so some minor changes to the courts when the facilities are the most crowded, and when you might have 4, 5, 6 groups waiting to play, and things like there's no gate on the 6 courts. You've got the adaptive courts, and then the 6 courts that are 3 and 3. There's no gate on that end. If you can get a gate there so you don't have to walk across any courts. The more gates you have, the more access to the courts, the easier it is, and the smoother things will run.
It's safer.
And it's definitely safer. Okay. On the bid, I think it was not required for an experienced sport court contractors. So the concern is that the courts, for the longevity, and that the courts be properly installed. So there is a certain standard set for the courts, and we want to make sure that the town is aware that that would be very important, that there was no puddle test in the original plans. Does anybody know? No? Okay.
It's a puddle test, so when the drainage on the courts.
We'll have to refer this to staff.
That puddle test word is a different phrase. I haven't heard that one.
Okay, well, for proper drainage.
Proper
So the way
drainage,
the
I
courts
believe.
are, the way the courts are angled, okay, but to make sure that gets done in the slope direction and the amount of slope is important, and so I don't
Vicki,
know.
we'll have to refer that, I'll have to refer that to staff.
Okay, so I don't know, like the engineering people, if they have experience in these kind of courts or whatever. And then, so the court access, and then the asphalt specs, that the USAPA recommends a certain amount of depth, and I think you were less than that on the plans.
Half an inch.
Half as much?
Half an inch.
Oh, half an inch, sorry. So this is calling for 1.5 inch to 2 inch base with 1 inch to 1.5 inches of finer grade. So that also is so important because your courts are going to last longer and they're going to hold up better. That the worst thing is you go and they just threw them down and then they crack or whatever. So that part is really important. Do you want to go now or I come back to this stuff?
Sure.
Okay.
Hi. I've lived in Penfield for 10 years and became a professional pickleballer in 2016 and have traveled to all parts of the country. So I've seen all sorts of courts, from starter courts, meaning you only have 4 to 8, to 120 courts, for example. And I would wholeheartedly agree with that. One of the things is the wind. The wind affects us tremendously, meaning keeping some of the trees and not having the wind visor in there so that spectators can see. It would be wonderful if they could think about that. I know they said that to take down some trees and then replace it with trees. However, the time it takes for them to mature, and when you put the new trees in and everything, why not? There are some specs on here she'll talk about later. Small movements that will you will not have to actually cut as many trees down. Plus, we want as many trees preserved as possible too. We just don't want. We want to preserve the trees. So the biggest thing to understand about pickleball is why we need shade is the socialization, because this is, just in my family alone, 4 generations play. And so I have nieces and nephews that I'm watching. I have my future stepchildren that play as well. So it's a community sport, and it's one of the only sports where 4 generations can get on the court and actually play and have a fun time. So the adaptive courts, which you guys have added, which is awesome. I was on 2 different committees, which actually got wheelchair pickleball rules added to the USAPA, and it's just wonderful to watch another community come in and play the sport. And wheelchair pickleball, any of us can get in a wheelchair and play. So it's one of the most inclusive sports that there are out there. So adaptive courts, as I said, the 6 courts are great. And not only that, it also works, for example, the autistic kids that I will be working with, the bigger area for them to negotiate also gives them room, and keeping it a little separate also helps those communities as well. So again, back to the social aspects, having the shade is really, really important, and so that when you guys want to have tournaments or family nights, or I know you guys in other places have events. It would be a great event place, because people love playing together and socializing, especially this. Every single tournament I've been to, the socialization aspect of it after is intense, actually, because we're all camaraderie, and everybody coexists and commingles, and it's really, really nice. Let's see. With the back to the inclusive courts, one thing to keep in mind with the wind, because we keep mentioning the wind, they can't move laterally in the wheelchairs. So if that area specifically doesn't have enough wind break, the game is not going to be fun, because I've played, and I've seen a ball do this in front of me for several seconds. It's amazing to watch, but then you lose the point because you're watching the ball spin, right? And then I've also worked with youth and we were playing outside in a lot of wind. They get really frustrated and shut down. So we want to make these courts the best that they can possibly be, and utilizing the experts in your community. I'm here, let me know. More than willing to help. And even if it's connecting you with other communities that have used certain contractors, just even for a quick call. And it's back to Vicki.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So along the lines of the other things, some of the technical stuff we were talking about, originally when we talked back, when this all started, they talked about laying the conduit and putting in the substructure for lighting. I don't know if that's in there now, but it makes a lot of sense to do it, because then if and when you do want lights, it's very easy then to put them in, because you've got everything there. You don't have to go back and do anything. It also, I think when they were talking about the lights, they talked about different height of the lights. And if you look at some of the studies, or if you did a lighting study, which you should do, you can use a lower level light, maybe 20 feet, and not the 30 like you have to do, or whatever you have to do for tennis, maybe higher. So right now, if there isn't planned, maybe to talk about that, because that would be awesome to get the substructure in now while you're doing it. And then the fencing, I think the plans for the fencing is with 8 foot, which with pickle, you really don't need that high. So that would be a money-saving way to reduce some of the costs, because it just doesn't bounce that high. You're going to very seldom get them going that high, and also it's just less intrusive to look at. So if you could lower the fencing.
For spectators.
And for spectators.
Yep.
And it also, if you leave the trees, you're not going to need the windscreens. And people would prefer not to have the windscreens anyway,
Yes.
I think, for the most part.
Yep.
On the courts between where the parking is, and also if you have this many courts, we may need more parking. I'm not sure if 100 spots is enough, so I don't know if we have space to do that. But the space between the 6 courts with the 3 and 3 courts.
The inclusive.
If we can, the inclusive courts in the parking lot, if we can put more space in there, because that's really tight. So for people to walk back and forth or to put stuff there, or that would be nice to have a little more space.
It's also so that 2 wheelchairs can actually pass.
There you go.
Is what it is in that area, because that's the inclusive courts.
Right, so, okay. So the other thing is the general layout of where everything is. If you look at the map, you've got Atlantic Avenue, you've got your parking, which is good, you've got your courts, but to do that, they have to level all this land, and you've got below it that would be to the south, you've got these mature oak trees that are there that you could leave, and if you just shifted everything down a little bit, it would be a nice level. I think there wouldn't be as much clearing to do, and you could have these mature trees that are already there. And also, I don't know, in the plans they have for the future for the playground on Atlantic Avenue, I don't know one parent that would say, hey, let's put a playground on Atlantic Avenue. I mean, it's a busy street, and it means you're going to cut down all these trees. I know it's a future thing, but I would think there would be, as a parent or a grandparent, I don't want to be on Atlantic Avenue. I want to be in here somewhere away from traffic, from people driving by and seeing the kids on the playground right there with no trees. And again, for the playground end of it, I'm speaking now as a grandparent, to have trees and a more of a park-like setting. As a senior Penfield resident, I see all these fields going out, and you've got tons of fields for the kids, but this is a perfect area to keep it as a park-like setting rather than fields. So for me, I would love to see, I know you have all future expansion, but to keep this more park-like and to keep it as a place where people can go walk. You can walk around Rothfuss, but it's just this big circle with no trees. So, and also with the path along Atlantic, the proposed path, you've already got a sidewalk there. So it just seems like some of this is just kind of common sense stuff to switch. Talking about keeping the trees and possibly the one shelter that is near the courts, maybe just turning that so it will be better used by the courts. And then the possibility of looking at a 2 to 3 year period to kind of see how this is all working before you decide what to do with everything else, and see how everything works there. Just because we have all those playing fields everywhere else, like I said. And then you got the inclusive courts.
Well, to add to what you're saying with the playground too, is talking to I think we're in section A of the police department, the sheriff's department.
Oh, yes.
They prefer sitting in a parking lot to see if there's a perp, for example, they would never find in a drive-by situation be able to identify someone unless he had a bat in his hand and they could see him that day smashing a car, for example. But so on that corner, if taking away trees and all of that for a playground. The playground, for us, being closer to the pickleball courts and away from a corner and keeping trees and putting trees around where the playground is, it would, in our opinion, would be better for the community. I mean, all of the playgrounds have no shade, and we need shade is the biggest thing that we're saying there. And then again, the sheriff's department, as they said,
Right.
They'd rather sit in a parking lot and look than there's no way that they're going to catch someone driving by. It's just.
Then I had a couple of questions. Is there any timeline when all this is going to happen? Is there a bid? Do we know when the bid's going out?
So Vicki, I can tell you that I have to get back with you on that as far as, yes, we approved a resolution for the bid to go out. It's out.
Okay.
But I can't answer that question. I would have to talk to staff.
And the other thing is, I've been coming here for the last year or two with doing all this, and we have offered our help along the way, but I don't think anybody's ever called us and asked us anything after we have, certainly, obviously, we want to help in any way we can, because I think it could be such a great facility, and it's really a thing to bring the community together. So again, we just keep saying there's so many people here who have the expertise to help make it a great facility when we don't know the people that at the engineering firm or whoever's doing it. We have no idea what their background is in this kind of construction.
Well, Vicki, I will reach back out to our staff and follow up with you, but I know that Mr. Froome's been up a number of times, and but I will follow up and find out exactly where we stand. On the plans and following up with you all as well, too, your group.
Great.
That's all I can say.
Okay.
That's okay with you?
Anything is it's great. It just seems that it's taking so long.
Well, we're trying to move things along and as quickly as we can.
Okay.
Just to give you some numbers really quickly. So statistically, pickleball, we are now in the low 50s, and tennis is in the 60s for the average age now. And then also the groups coming out now, the ages is 18 to 35. So this is, as I've said, a community sport. I have taught 4-year-olds all the way to 90-year-olds. I've seen 90-year-olds play singles with 55-year-olds and win because they have more patience and precision than everyone else. So bringing this into this community is wonderful, and I'm so excited to hear it, and I can't wait to participate. So let us know if you have anything that you need from us.
Will do. And I think the board is very appreciative of you coming. I can speak, and we agree with you. We know that this is something that
you're going to need more courts. I'm just going to tell you now. You're going to need more courts. I play at the Y's, and I mean, even on days where there's 6 courts available, there are still 8 paddles, which is 32 people waiting and 24 people on the courts, and people leaving all the time. So I'm telling you, if you build it, they will come.
We will be building it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time, everyone.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Have a nice evening. Thank you. Sue, is there anyone else that's signed up to speak?
I don't have anyone else signed up.
Sure, you can leave. No one?
I don't have anyone else signed up.
And is there anybody in the audience that would like to speak? Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I've got a quick.
Sure. Sir, you can come up to this, either one of the microphones, please, and tell us your name and your address, please.
I'm Howard Maremski, 15 Farmingham Drive, and
Good evening.
I'm a pickleball fan.
I figured you,
As you can see.
I think we could guess that.
Yeah, I wanted to speak to the social aspect of pickleball, and both Vicki and Jennifer referred to that. But unlike like tennis or golf, where you have to get 4 people together, and you have to all make arrangements and all show up together. With pickleball, you can go anywhere in the world pretty much and by yourself, and you'll be included. It can start playing together. And I play at the YMCA East Side, and on a typical day, we'll have maybe 30 people waiting to play, and we stack our paddles. So as the weather gets nicer, we'll all be, or many of us will be going out, but there's definitely a need for it. I recently traveled out west and was there a couple of months and went in several different venues, and everywhere that I went, I met people, and we communicate back and forth, and for me, it's been such a huge big social part of my life. I've been actually trying to work on my anti-social skills a little bit because I see people there that aren't even playing that will just show up to pickleball and just sit, watch, and they're there for the camaraderie. And with regard to the social aspect of it, I think the current plan shows like the restroom and the facility there are off to where the parking lot is.
Yes.
I think to maybe bring that a little bit closer to where the courts are, especially the restroom aspect, as I call myself a seasoned citizen, and as we get older, we end up making a few more trips than we used to, and so maybe possibly bringing that a little bit closer and just making it as accessible to people to be able to sit and be able to interact, and I just to look at it more from the just making it a fun place to be and meet people and such. So
Appreciate it.
yep. So
Thank you for coming. You seem very social, so you're doing well with that.
well,
Were you at the Y, by any chance, were you at the Y this morning?
I was at the Y this morning.
I thought I saw you. There's quite a few people that were there. You probably had Wednesdays and Saturday mornings, there's a big crowd there.
Pretty much school's out too, so
Yeah,
that's a factor. But we're trying to get the Y to open up more hours and all
I heard that,
so,
yeah. Good.
So-
Well, thank you for.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you for your comments. Seeing no one else that would like to speak, I don't see anyone sending any questions in. Brian, anyone calling in? Okay, thank you. Then we'll close this public participation, and we'll proceed with additions and deletions to the agenda. Board, any additions and deletions? I have one.
I'd like to add Resolution 23T-110 under Law and Finance, please, to accommodate a timing issue for our town clerk.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Roll call vote, please.
Drawe.
Aye.
Cole.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Ockenden.
Aye.
Thank you.
4 ayes.
Next, before you have the approval of minutes of the March 15th, 2023 meeting. Is there any additions, deletions, or questions or concerns?
Nope.
None.
And seeing none, okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Perfect.
I'll second.
Thanks. Roll call vote.
Drawe.
Aye.
Cole.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Ockenden.
Aye.
4 ayes.
Thank you. Board, has anyone received any petitions?
None.
Seeing none, next we will proceed to resolutions by function. Will Sue, would you please call the
Intent to
Function.
serve as lead agency of the State Environmental Quality Review required for the future adoption of comprehensive plan update.
so moved?
Second.
The Town of Penfield is in the process of updating its comprehensive plan and anticipates the future adoption of the 2023 comprehensive plan update. The adoption of this comprehensive plan update is classified as a Type 1 action pursuant to the State Environmental Quality Review Act, which is known as SEQR, and it requires a coordinated review be conducted before the town board can take any required future action. The town board wishes to initiate the coordinated review process by declaring its intent to serve as a lead agency pursuant to the requirements of SEQR. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the town board declares its intent to serve as lead agency for the purposes of SEQR and directs staff to circulate the required notification to involved and interested agencies. God bless you.
Drawe.
Aye.
Cole.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Ockenden.
Aye.
All aye.
Thank you.
Acceptance of financial statements and independent auditors' reports for 2022 and filing of the New York State Annual Update Document, AUD.
So moved. The Town of Penfield engaged the services of Bonadillo and Company, LLP, to prepare financial statements and an independent auditor's report for the fiscal year 2022, as well as assisting in the preparation of the annual update document. Whereas the town board has reviewed the said statements and reports and finds all information to be in order, the town board hereby accepts the final statements as prepared by Bonadillo and Company, LLP, for 2022 and acknowledges the filing of the AUD with the New York State Controller. Copies of the said documents will be filed in the office of the clerk and posted on the town's website. And this is an annual update file we file every year with the state. Thank you.
Drawe.
Aye.
Cole.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Ockenden.
Aye.
All aye. Appointments to the Ethics Board.
So moved.
Second.
Town of Penfield Local Law Number 1 of 1970 provides for the establishment of an ethics board to perform duties as defined by this local law. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the following be appointed to the ethics board with a term expiring December 31, 2023. Deborah Friedley, Michael Lingle, Mark Northrup, Steve Pello, and Candace Lee, councilperson. Thank you.
Drawe.
Aye.
Cole.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Ockenden.
Aye.
All aye. Appointment Richard Lembo to the Board of Assessment Review.
So moved.
Second.
Whereas Richard Lembo has expressed interest in serving on the Board of Assessment Review, and therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Penfield reappoints Mr. Richard Lembo of 15 Pine Brook Circle, Penfield, to the Board of Assessment Review to the Town of Penfield for a term expiring 9/30/2023, serving the balance of Robert Conaber's term. Thank you.
Drawe.
Aye.
Cole.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Ockenden.
Aye.
All aye. Appoint J. Michael Allen to the Board of Assessment Review.
So moved.
Second.
Whereas J. Michael Allen has expressed his interest for serving on the Board of Assessment Review, so therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Penfield reappoints Mr. J. Michael Allen of 88 Tree Brook Drive, Penfield, to the Board of Assessment Review for a term ending 9/30/2024, serving the balance of Robert Salvage's term. Thank you.
I have a
Drawe.
quick question.
Sure.
Sorry, Ms. Streit.
Sorry.
So for each of these appointments to the Board of Assessment Review, I believe our town assessor had already vetted and made the recommendation as well.
He did, and
Okay.
I probably should have clarified that
Thank you,
before.
because I understand
Yes.
that we're doing this a little bit speedily, but.
Yes.
So again, they've been vetted, they're qualified,
And-
and there are no character questions or
Absolutely.
concerns. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for
Drawe.
the clarification. Aye.
Cole.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Ockenden.
Aye.
All aye. Reappoint Steve Ferrara to the Board of Assessment Review.
So moved.
Second.
And Steve Ferrara has expressed an interest in for serving another term on the Board of Assessment Review. So therefore, be it resolved that the Town of Penfield reappoints Mr. Steve Ferrara of 12 Panorama Trail, Rochester, 14625, to the Board of Assessment Review for a term ending 9/30/2027. Thank you.
Drawe.
Aye.
Cole.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Ockenden.
Aye.
All aye. Authorization to attend 2023 Highway Superintendent's Highway School in Ithaca, New York.
Are we taking Resolution 23T 2023-110 first, or?
No, it would be, it would be yours.
Okay,
Sure,
okay,
thank
then
you.
I'll move
Yes.
Resolution 23T109.
And I'll second.
Thank you. Whereas the Town and County Officers Training School and the Association of Towns of the State of New York are co-sponsoring a highway school in Ithaca, New York, in cooperation with Cornell University Local Roads Program. And whereas the Highway Superintendent's Highway School has been very successful and helpful in the past, and informing and educating highway superintendents on various topics associated with their job duties and responsibilities. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Eric Tate, DPW, and Doug Yeager, Highway Department Foreman, be and hereby are authorized to attend this highway school in Ithaca on June 5th, Tuesday, June 6th. I'm going to reread that. I'm sorry. They're attending the highway school from June 5th through June 7th.
Right.
And that all appropriate expenses will be reimbursed and have already been budgeted in the 2023 DPW budget.
Drawe.
Aye.
Cole.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Ockenden.
Aye.
All ayes.
Thank you.
Authorization to attend Niagara School.
So moved.
Second.
The New York State Association of Local Government Records Officers is a nonprofit organization that provides a network for all who are responsible for records upkeep and information management for local governments. NIALGRO is dedicated to increasing awareness of the need of sound management for local government records and provides valuable classes which include the opportunity to exchange information and problems with solutions unique to each town. Whereas Town Clerk Amy Steckloff, as the town's record management officer, will have the opportunity to expand knowledge and network with members of this association. So therefore be resolved that the Town Clerk Amy Steckloff is hereby authorized to attend the 2023 New York Association of Local Government Records Officers School to be held from June 4th, June 7th, 2023. The funds to attend this are included in the 2023 Town Clerk Conference budget line. Thank you.
Drawe.
There is a small typo. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
It's very minor, but you'll see it in the second paragraph. The acronym is incorrect.
Oh, yeah, New York State.
It's
Yep.
minor, but again,
Yep.
no big deal.
It is.
Thank you.
No, it was, I wondered when I read it. There you go. Thank you.
Drawe.
Aye.
Cole.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Ockenden.
Aye.
All ayes.
And that concludes that new business. We have no executive session tonight. Our next meeting, legislative meeting here at the Penfield Town Board will be on May 3rd. And I would like to adjourn this meeting at 7:20, almost 7:24 tonight. So please be safe and have a nice evening. Thank you.